Melissa.
Hey, Amy.
So we have a very special, near and dear to me guest who has actually, this is probably her third time to be on our podcast at this point. So, very special guest. Do you want to introduce yourself?
I'm Karena Hayes, and I am now a dyslexia therapist.
Yay! She finished back in
Thank
June.
you.
I think that's your official date.
Yes.
She finished with her training in June and sat for her exam and probably blew it out of the water from everything I know about Karena. So tell us about future plans or present plans. What are you doing now?
Yeah, well, I'm starting to focus on older adolescents, so kids who are in mostly high school, who still are really needing that intensive dyslexia therapy. So I'm focusing on that, and I'm focusing on some dysgraphia and writing support as well. So always adding new things to my toolbox.
Dysgraphia thing is really interesting to me right now. That's been kind of the adult dyslexic, the younger dyslexic, and the dysgraphia piece has been kind of my focus here lately.
Well, and I was wanting to remind our audience, just in case they didn't hear your first episode, you were talking a lot about the behavior component that's associated with dyslexia. And that was fascinating, and your episode was one of our top performers.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it's because people are so thirsty for that information and don't realize how much reading really does impact how somebody feels about themselves. And if they don't have emotional intelligence to know how to handle that rejection that they feel day in, day out when they don't know how to read, they will respond inappropriately.
Yes.
So I would love to hear a little bit more about that. Just
Yeah.
talk about that.
Well, as I'm working and focusing more this year, just because of how my caseload has kind of come together this year, those older students, when we're looking at behaviors, a lot of them, I'm kind of shifting some of my techniques, because it's not just the younger kids who are acting out, it's older kids who have severe depression and no vision for their life and not really a passion or a drive, because they're so kind of overwhelmed, and they have a lot of negative self-talk, a lot of that. So that's been an interesting one. And then pulling that in with dysgraphia, understanding the importance of self-talk when we come to writing, any writing task, even for a student with dyslexia, but understanding sometimes when I'm kind of starting to work with these kids, their negative self-talk is so huge, and it's sometimes heartbreaking. I think the last speaker I was just in was talking about that with executive functioning. So the behavior piece is so key. It's just looking a little different for me as I'm using those tools for some older kids, but we still have to go back and help them understand their strengths and find some passions and find some desire and drive and what they're good at, to then bring that into the dyslexia therapy setting.
I'm trying to remember what episode she was on. So if y'all go into the early episodes, go listen to Karena's podcast, because it was...
It's Karena Hayes.
Yeah, and she was amazing. And we had so many people ask for her contact. I'm like, I'm not handing out her phone. But how can people get a hold of you, like on social?
Yes. So my Instagram is Miss Dyslexia Teacher. Amy said I should change that to therapist, but right now it's a Miss Dyslexia Teacher. That's my handle on Instagram. I'm working on a website. Yay! I just don't have it quite out, but it'll be under my name, Karena Hayes. Feel free to reach out to me. Anyway, Instagram's probably the easiest. But a Miss Dyslexia Teacher at gmail.com is another email. But I love that integration of behavior, trauma, reading, all of those pieces coming together, social justice. Love to talk about that with anyone who's interested.
Yeah, and y'all be on the watch out for Karena, because she's going to be moving up pretty soon. I asked her, one of the first things I asked her when she said she was going to IDA, I said, are you a speaker? She goes, no. And I'm like, why not?
I have a lot of things in my head. I just haven't gotten them out there yet. We're working on it.
Yeah,
awesome.
So Karena Hayes is who we need to be watching out for.
That's right. She's the next big thing.
Thank you, guys. It's always a pleasure to be here.
Oh, thank you.
It was so fun to talk to you again.
Okay, so this is Amy.
And Melissa.
And we're the
Dyslexia
Dyslexia Duo.
Duo.
Coming back at you in just a little bit. Bye.
Bye.